Okay, what's up? So I saw your post. I want to make a quick video. I'm like a mid-masters Diva and Wrecking Ball player primarily, so I'll be more helpful with the Wrecking Ball. I'll play some other tanks too, but I don't play Doom, so I'm not sure how helpful I'll be. I'll make some sort of general observations based on what I know. Just a sec. But um, but I don't know enough about his cooldown cycle and like how his matchups differ from Wrecking Ball in terms of who's good for you to kill. I think it's okay to punch the tank, especially if it's Junker Queen, especially if you can isolate her. And then I think we're looking for either kind of standard things like a Moira that fades, maybe a Lucio that puts himself in a vulnerable position, or like probably Ashe is a probably really good target for you to hit, or May if she's her ice block is okay. But we're probably first target's probably the Ashe. Um, so what I want to do is just kind of go through this fast motion. They're very generous giving you these charged shots. I do know if you get that charged punch, really valuable to hit people on the walls. You can see how their Junker Queen's critical. We'll go like there. So the thing that I'm noticing is like this high ground is kind of invisible to you. And kind of on any mobile tank like this one, like Doom, Wrecking Ball, Diva, Winston, we want to live on the high grounds a bit more. And something you can notice about their position, and it's really common in gold, is they just kind of ball up and hit the payload, like march around the payload. So like this is clear, right? Even being up here where you can still shoot and you can drop to do your block to get an empowered punch, and then you have the options. You know, you can punch out, you can slam out, or if you get one, you can try to make something happen. You're just really waiting kind of here, and I think it makes it hard to even see like what's a good target. That's a fine pick. She's an idiot. But we're still kind of giving up like a lot of ground here. Like as the payload goes through here, the whole thing about this is it's a choke. What is a choke? Like it's where people have to walk through a space and there's nothing to really disengage, like sides are closed. So when a payload's up here, if we go back a little, up here, they need to hide around this corner, which is already their cover, right? If they want to take any space or walk into your team, they need to walk through this narrow thing, right? And even if they, like, let's say they get far enough to take cover here, like, that means they can't really quickly get onto your back line, like come around this way, that way, etc. So I think what I would have liked to have seen you done is play tighter to the payload here. Like, even if May walls you, you can just jump up here, right? Or be playing, like, up here, around here, look for this slam, and then get out that way. I think that's something Doofus does. But by, like, kind of just, like, going forward and back and slowly and forward and back, which I think is what Dean's supposed to do. But the place they go back to is slowly just moving back. You're not really holding space. And even now, like, what if you cleared to, like, up here? Right? Or over here. We drop on his Ashe and smash her against the wall. Easy kill, right? She's isolated. I think what you're trying to do against this comp, which is tricky because it's like both the May and the Junker Queen, is like kind of fight them straight on for a bit, but really you're trying to separate them and then get those isolated kills, which Doom is really great at. I like that move. But again, like, we could be opening this angle up or something. Coming over here. Right. Coming up here. Especially, like, they don't really have a lot of vertical mobility, so these spaces are kind of yours to control, right? For you and your team. Mechanics, but you get a stagger, right? So we'll just go through the rest of this. I can't give you any micro stuff about what to do about Reaper. I like that you get the Junker Queen here. This is great. We'll probably look to do a little more with her punch here, but fine, you're zoning their team. A little more aim, and I think you get them against the wall with your charged punch, and then it's an easy kill. I don't even mind this ult. And especially this is important because they've changed their comp, right? The Ashe is gone. So now they're really looking to brawl you. And this map is not that great for brawl. It's like really wide open, right? And there's decent high ground. So you need to change your play style at this point. You can't probably just face tank their whole team and live. That's fine. We fought the Reaper. We forced him out. That's value. We don't have to chase him. Right. Our team's kind of carrying for us here. What I mean is... right about here. We get the fade. About now, you want to... he's not going to do anything, right? And unless he fades directly to a health pack, like, he's still some time to clean him up. What I'd want to do now is be looking at, like, what's going on over here. Right? Helping my team clear up, especially the supports. I think you don't go on supports enough, basically. Now she's staggered. This is great. And now, here, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with looking for staggers, but why aren't we just like in a better spot to see everything? Up here is probably a good neutral. You can even come up here, you're Doom, right? You can fight a bit and then get out. I think what they do is they slam up and then punch over the wall. Over the roof. Or it could be over here even. Or even like really out tight and then use their mobility to get up. Right? Or kind of giving them a bunch of the map for free. We know they're going over left. So even then, why don't we just like up here and wait for a couple of them to go? Like imagine we slammed back over here or here or something and then punch them that way. That was a good empowered punch. The Lifeweaver's trying. I hate Lifeweaver personally, but I wouldn't say he's like throwing the game for you. Some pulls have been good, some have been bad. But there, if we go back, let's go to normal speeder. If we go back, Like, the problem here isn't that the Life Weaver pulled you. It wasn't even that far of a pull. Although maybe it, like, messed up your punch or something. I think you needed to slam first and then punch. But the problem is that you're fighting them into this corner here. And yeah, it's like 4 of them, but none of your team can really hit there, right? So there's a bit of like, you're sort of solving their problem for them. They've all set up here in this big telegraphed move, right? So we can fight them a bit to try and get some sort of resource out, like Mora Fade, let's say, May Ice Block, something like that. But really, we want them to step into a place where a team can kill them too, right? So maybe like the first punch, okay, and then back up, right? Because we need like our block back to do things. Yeah, and you kind of spend all your resources and get a lot of them low, but it's not in a place where your team can follow up, and they kind of start cheating over to help you, right? So we watch what happens there. So they're all kind of cheating over to the left instead of spread out. And then like the Reaper comes in and takes the empty space. Yeah. The Junker Queen, like your Zen and Life Weaver and Junker Queen alt range, yeah. Kind of Hanzo 2 is sort of an easy pick. So it's just like we're making it hard for them. We're just mistiming our pressure, yeah. The hard part is when they walk, not from the safety of this corner, but when they're walking this space here. This ult is just completely wasted. So I think that's kind of the thing. You're like on Doom, you're too focused on kind of the front of the fight. We're just gonna go quick because again, like I can't tell you mechanic shit. Here too, like why are we fighting here? Why aren't we some sort of high ground? Even here. Here. This is really, really freaking strong. If you notice no one on their team is here, being here is really goddamn annoying. Over here, right? We're kind of playing this team like we're gonna brawl them, but we're much worse at brawl than a May Reaper Lucio Mora, right? With a Junker Queen. It's just a brawl comp. Your team is like a Zen, a Life Weaver, a Hanzo, like these characters that they want to take pot shots, they want to draw out a fight, they want to keep kiting. So you need to like disrupt, get out, disrupt, get out, disrupt, get out, instead of like forward, backward, which you definitely do play certain characters that play that way. I think if you're playing like a kind of like a diva or something, you want to be a little more brawly because you're better at it than she is. I think kind of a Sigma too. But just notice like how much time you spend not shooting support. Like we get the Lucio there, but it's really just because he happens to be in the front. I think especially with your ult, you should be looking for can I catch a support instead of being so focused on ulting the other tank. Oh, I forgot to mention it, but at the end of second point, you really should have contested. That's good. This is clean. The reason it's working is you're waiting for them to come out of this door, and you're making it hard for them. Like you're taking a fight at the right end of the choke instead of waiting for the choke to narrow or taking the fight deep in the choke, like on their side of it, right? And your team is set up to shoot all this stuff that you're punching. And we're not so much front to back. We're fighting deep in them. We've gotten these angles. I think I often see Dooms like, you can go up here for a bit, or up there. A little more like Batman, right? We're probably going to lose to ults here, though. Good peel. But here, again, we end up just in front of them. I want you to slam, like, to the side, at least, something like that. It's not just that you take a lot of damage that way, it forces them to turn away from your Zen. It's the same concept as Wrecking Ball, right? So that he can get these easy shots of people not shooting at him. If you're here and they want to kill you this way, all they have to do once you disappear is keep walking forward into the Zen, right? That's what they already want to do. You need to make them decide. Do I walk this way or do I deal with this Doom? And then you're slippery and there's like a mega here, right? Or you get up to high ground, which they can't go to. Like, I think I see Dooms when I get empowered punch, a lot of the time, they'll like come up here and look to drop and get a charge punch like that way. And they're like, use a slam. So, again, do you see what I'm talking about? It just kind of in the middle. Goated pull there. It didn't cost you a game though. I will freely admit I hate Life Weaver. I hate most of all that they're always in a dumb spot and they pull you on like Wrecking Ball exactly where you don't want to be. Like I'd rather go get a health pack or something and stay close to their team but hidden, and then I get pulled into the middle of our team and then have to set up all over again. Okay, so Wrecking Ball I do understand. So we'll talk through this a little more. But it's like a similar concept, but more into the where you want them to look. That's the important part about playing Wrecking Ball, is understanding who you need to look at you. It's usually the supports. You almost always want to be slamming or shooting a support. And when you want them to turn to you, right? And if they're looking at you, they're not looking at your team. So you look at your team's outlines when you're hidden. And then you wait till they're almost there and you can see it, and then you slam someone and shoot them from the side, and then get out to another side. And you either come from behind or come from the side. Or you can sometimes do like a surprising angle. Like on this map, when I come out, the kind of two rollouts I do, you might be able to get one off the house nowadays, but this is like an old school one before you could retract grapple. But I'll grapple this, swing around, tighten it, and go for a kind of low roll like this way. If you do it right, you boop them all here into this window, where like if you have a Widow or Ashe or something, they can see it. And then kind of step off and slam here. And then we exit either that way, or less ideal, but we can go over here for this mega. We can get this mega if we need it. The other rollout is kind of, you fireball out to the side here. And you can retract up this now, but you can also, this corner, like if you face it slightly to the right and jump, you'll sort of levitate. It's called like a corner jump. And I'll get you up on this building, which you can roll through. And then you can fireball that way. And that's also like pretty good. You can slam here, slam through here. Depends kind of who's there. But those are sort of the two best ways to do it.
Always trying to help. And frankly, I prefer to give up.
Let's see what you do. Right, so that's okay. We could have fireballed out just to... We really need to make sure that we're about to hit just as the payload's getting up here. So here, it's like fine, but we just don't want to be sort of in front of them. If you think of like, I think Spilo talks about this. If you think about the teens as a clock, right? So like, and 12 o'clock's where the payload's going, and 6 o'clock is back where your teen spawns. Right? Most of the people here are on like 12 o'clock, 11, 10, 9. A wrecking ball always wants to be on the sides of the clock, like 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, or a little back, like here at 11 o'clock. So I would like to, I mean, over the roof's the better rollout, but I would like to you at least come over here so you can shoot this turret without these guys shooting you. Maybe we take a minute to clear like the sim turret because we got the other one, right? I'm glad that you're doing this though. It is your job, but do it from a place where you don't get shot from these other guys, right? I like that you clear out to the back. We should be rolling here. So they're like, we kind of need to see where everyone is, right? Our bastion's way back there. Or Sen's in spawn. Or Ash is like on high ground there. I would like to see you, like, when you roll back here, like, come up here. And just look for some shooting. And when I see my Ash, like, there, what I'm looking to do is set some people up. Let's see what you can see. Yeah. In this line of sight. So if they're trying to hold this corner, grapple like here, roll through them, the fireball them out, and then slam like there-ish. Or slam and land on top of here and start shooting from the high ground. The other thing is if you just hadn't done anything for a second, come up here. You could have maybe just tried to shoot the sim with her guns until she was low enough for you to slam and kill her. And get like big fat shields here. Maybe then isolate this torb. So like we're in almost a good space, but we're not aggressive enough. Right? We used our shields and like didn't fight. Right? And those are bad shields, right? You got the minimum. You got 100. If you're just like, what's our cooldowns like? At this moment, if you're looking for a grapple up here, slam, like roll through, fireball through, slam here. Shields. Then you have like 3, 4 people around you. You get like, you have over 1,000 health like that, right? You can fight them. You can try to fireball them up here and go share your shields with your team. We're just kind of doing nothing here. And now that we used our shields, when we're already safe, like it's harder to go back in. Think of the shields as kind of like a free health pack. It's like, as you get better, there's a bit of anticipation, but it's kind of like I want to stay in this fight. It's kind of a stay in this fight button. But it didn't really let you do anything here that you could have done without them. First time we're shooting a healer here. But, you know, we're getting them back. We could be a lot more effective, but it's fine. We got hacked. Honestly, thing to do is really to shoot the Sombra as soon as she teleports like this. Even, like, you don't have to kill her, just delay her stealth. It's annoying, your hit scan. Escaping from this situation, you have two options, kind of. One is like a sort of high grapple, and you can retract like around the rooftop here. You could also maybe, there's a really good kind of spin to win if you grapple in the middle here and fireball around this thing. And use that fireball to go get that mega or something like that. I don't mind, like, you can get in space for your team. So it's not like you're doing nothing, you're just, like that slam, right? It would really help to aim it a bit. Because you don't really hit anything there. Some TPs, like, we could have killed her here. Here's the thing, she's 225 health, right? And their mobility we can chase. And so if we can break her stealth, we can kill her, no problem. And actually most of the time at this rank, they think they do like extra damage to Wrecking Ball, but you have like, you know, over 700, almost 800 health compared to 225. So like, it's actually a bad fight for Sombra. It's just if other people are around that it gets into trouble. And here, the thing to be looking to do is like come over here and look for a grapple like around here and roll people off at this ledge and go for the slam here. See how your Zen's shooting down? So good, a little late. Right? Again, more verticality. We're playing like how to be a worm crawling on the ground all the time, yeah? Like, I'd love to see a grapple even like to this corner or that corner so that you can roll through, come up, you can retract and kind of loop to loop and roll through again and then slam. Yeah? This Ramatra is discorded, he's low, he wants to back off, slam him so he can. And here, this is a great time. We even grapple here and spin up here, like fireball here. Stop, fireball again, keeping our grapple, slam. Don't let him back up from the corner. Or if we'd been in like a more correct place, like over here, again, we fireball through, slam him in the open space, right? That's just technique. We see the Sombra, so we back out. That's fine. Yep. Here, we're looking for, we want to make this space unsafe, and we're going to roll through it and slam. This TP doesn't do anything anyway. Nobody can go in it, nobody can go out of it. It's like not a priority, right? Again, your grapples are just too low. A higher one, you could have done something, gotten in the air, retract, rebound, like mines and slam. Yeah, I think grapples are the big thing I'd work on with the ball here. And then that ult. So the order's wrong. Like, that's a spread where you know they're going to be forced into that spot. Whereas this kind of mines is more about area denial. You'll make it really hard for them to stay on a corner. Right? A better team would just kind of hide back here and they still have the protection. So you want to mines first. you want to kind of jump off your mines so some of them get on this high ground and deny it. Maybe some even get over there. And then slam and kind of 180. And I'll send you a video I have just about my settings, and I cover this tech. But basically when you slam, you move a little forward and people are pulled to where you slam. So the trick to getting a good mines is to mines first, 180, and slam. You press the slam button and then there's like a wind up and you can turn your camera a little. And that makes you move like your mines, and then with the slam you move back towards the middle of your minefield. So we get a Lucio, but it's not the best mines really. What I do like is that you're willing to back off. We had share our shields here. This is fine, but it's actually like not very ideal play. Like the reason you win this is because their Mud is a dumbass. But what we need to do, watch how this team, see how when their Ramada's in, they all walk forward like that? Right? What we needed to be looking to do was be up here and like slam these guys and shoot and try to pull them backwards. Or just fireball past him. We could maybe knock someone into our mines here. Right? Kind of retract it, end up here. So the problem is like we sort of know what we're trying to do, but we just always end up in these neutral spots. I even like that. Good shield, we use like a high grapple and we can just retract and get out and dodge. Right? Or if we want to like menace this area, we can spin her in around this thing. We can spin her in around this thing would be really strong. That's the other thing, is looking for grapples, either like if we need some mobility a little higher up, or using fireball to just deny an area, right? If we're fireballing through here, it's really hard for them to stand there. There's also just a little thing of, if you know there's a Sombra in play, like, I think you're doing this because you got hacked. These telegraphed high slams are really dangerous because they make it an easy hack. When we do it, we want to land somewhere. We want to kind of know where the Sombra is, land somewhere so that we can just break line of sight like this. Around a corner here. And then shoot who we can see, but limit who can see us, right? You saw where she went. Okay, good try. Let's look to do something else. I'd probably grapple here and just fireball. Make it really hard for the sim to walk. Or grapple here and fireball. Get these two. Retract it. Come over here maybe. Slam this Lucio on point. Maybe share shields with his Ashe. Like that, and then just keep the grapple. Right? Come around again. You could probably launch yourself into an easy boop on a sim. She faded in. Yeah. Did we share a shield? Yeah. A little late to it, but good idea. Lucio just feeding, right? That's the kind of pull that I fucking hate, dude. But they did get your mega. But now we clean up this person, right? Boop, slam. Or boop her this direction, and then either we get her off the map or we slam her coming over the ledge. I'm not sure you know how to ledge slam. I haven't seen you use it that I can remember. Like here, like we're just walking around in crab mode a bunch. Why aren't we at least rolling and probably like looking for some sort of grapple, like fireball situation, or retract grapple to slam on a point here, or to go clean up other kills. We don't need to push this payload really. There's also a bit of just tracking. I like that you share your shields there. But right, like, look at this in fast motion here. Like, what's the point of playing Wrecking Ball here if we're just gonna just be on Malga? Okay, we got mines. Almost always 9 times out of 10. Especially if you stagger them like this, the minefield you're looking for is somewhere up high here-ish. Something that gets some of the low ground, so they have to back up and give you this choke, and maybe gets a little behind it, and gets a bit of the high ground, so they can't use it. Unless, like, they all sort of gave up the point and they're trying to hold up here. And then you might need to mine, like, this zone. This is great. But again, we don't do any damage at this range, right? So we're here, we shoot them a bit, they're walking back. Okay, we rotate. They give us space, we take it. We know their team's going to respawn like this direction. I would probably be rolling like over here maybe. Or fireball through here. Just be kind of over here. Keep on trying to get them back. Knowing that like this is a really strong grapple. We can come up here. In between fights we can retract and we can just kind of like ride the roof to slam almost anywhere along here, right? And then similarly on Wrecking Ball, I must always roll out through here when we first take the point to get over here so I can deal with this high ground. Right, like you do no damage from this distance and you slam no one there. And they like beat and maybe the Sombra almost killed the Zen. Oh, he's saving the Ash. We wait this out. We're waiting for them to walk forward. And the reason why this is hard for them to walk through, right? So we want to mine back here based on where their team is, yeah? And our team is about to walk. Or we look to help these guys right now because they're separated. Fair enough. Share shields probably. Again, like we slam and then shield, and we're shielding this spot that like very easy for them to just back up. Wait it out. Your team won't be able to push, right? We need to be mining if we were gonna mine. Right about now. And like here-ish. To give us, like, as if we can just hold the payload and push it forward, they can't back up and we have cover, so we could just win. The other thing that's strong is you can grapple this thing and kind of retract, and you can like 180 around it, which gives you strong area denial. But at this point, like, not really gonna win. And our mines is late, and it's just not very good, right? mines are like one of the best things about Wrecking Ball. And so you really have to play like if you're not winning any other way, you got mines, you got a chance, right? But here we're just kind of broken down into our like sit around and crab mode in the middle of the fight. And now we really, really, really don't want to stagger, right? We're down one. We used all our ults. At the worst, we come over here. But we probably need to be setting up instead of just hard engaging right now. Now we need to get out. A minute left, right? Right, we just take so much damage doing this instead of just keeping our grapple, rolling them into a corner here, and then killing them out of the view of all these guys shooting us. Right? Look how many people just shoot you that you're not looking at. Or Matra, right? The more, the Sombra got her hack off. Right, we need to regroup. Saved by Sombra. But it's like, because you're always sort of here, they don't have to worry about you. They can just walk into your team and keep walking, right? We've been like up here taking pot shots. Retreat to Mega if we have to. Yeah. And over here, or even just in between the fight, clearing some of these turrets. We're just like way in. It's gonna be a miracle. Like at this point, you need to be thinking like, I need to get mines. In here, perfect example, like, as long as Sombra's not in here, I'll roll out through this way. You have the option to either shoot them here, you could take like this high ground if no one's there. Or we can go all the way through, because we're so fast. We can end up back here. Could shoot this Sam and then slammer, like easy kill. Right? This rollout, like everyone sees you. If you're gonna do something like this, we can hide here. Take our grapple like here or something, so that we grapple like we're fireballing in at an odd angle, because then that's an off angle, right? And up here. Easy kill if we slam her, right? But where you are, you're just kind of in front. They know where you're coming from. They chase you fine, we get out. We try to share our shields maybe at this point. I don't mind the slam, but don't end up this way. We need to be like here-ish. Here-ish. So they really have to pull back. They want to be on point. They want to kill the guys who had point on your team. So you need to open up space for them, right? Or at the worst, we try to keep them walking back. We could have some sort of grapple, like a yo-yo situation, and boop them back around there. Grapple here. Fireball this area. Right. Now we have our mines, so we need to get some height. We need to share our shields. If we look to do that. A retract or something would have helped. Again, a ground mines. Hey, this is just over. And again, it's too far forward. It needed to be like further back here. So they have no way to back off from the payload. So, I hope that helps. I feel like it was a little scattershot. I think on both characters, I want to see you like on the sides of the fight more often, on high ground more often. I think on Doom, like on both characters, more time shooting healers, less time shooting tanks. Um, Doom, it's okay sometimes to be in the middle like that. In Ball, you're useless just running around with your guns. You're like a shitty fat tracer, or not even like a shitty fat, like a Devo with no damage or something, or a Malga with no damage or abilities that are useful, right? You have you have mobility, you have vertical mobility, you have speed, you have your slam. You need to be looking to use those things more often. Use your fireball more often. Look for a couple spin to win spots. And just like give them a reason to not walk into your team. When they want to walk into your team, slam someone, right? We play off the other tank and just stop everyone else from helping him. That's like our main goal on Wrecking Ball. And then just, I'll send you this video I made a while back about Para-Easter, but just looking for more, more consistency with mines. We want to kind of jump mines, press the slam button 180, or just turn it towards the middle of the minefield. And want to get mostly more spread. Like your minefields in this game are all pretty bad and ineffective because you're mining a spot that they're walking into instead of where they might back away into, or a place you don't want them to be. That helps on a payload. Mines on a payload, unless it's overtime and you're on defense, are not that good. You want to be like a little behind it, the area that they're backing off onto to defend the payload. So as a main note, the video also has some like what I use for settings. I didn't notice much about your aim other than that. Not a lot of headshots, and maybe a bit of trouble like tracking or picking up targets. But anyway, that's just what I play on and what's comfortable to me. It's sort of up to you what you do with settings. But yeah, I work on those basic things. Shoot healers more, get better ults. Make sure you're like actually doing damage when you're effective, when you're engaging. You spend a lot of time shooting things from kind of long distance for no reason. When you could have just used your mobility to get closer, more to the side, more above, and do more damage, because Ball is like a lot of fall off. So unless it's something like marking a healer to stop them from getting self-heal, or marking Zarya to stop her from getting stealth, we don't want to do that much long-range shooting. We'd rather ambush a bit more. Yeah. I think you still need to work on your setup on Ball. And the way that you play right now, the Doom makes a lot more sense. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. If you have questions, let me know, and good luck.